Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel X Stitch and Chill. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I hope you've been enjoying these stitchy updates, and if you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that button. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is my little slice of the internet where I talk about all my cross-stitch projects, as well as the movies, TV, and books I'm watching or listening to while I stitch. It's Girl Scout cookie season, so I will be stitching a lot to keep myself from eating an entire sleeve of Thin Mints or, all 3 rows of tagalongs in one sitting. My daughter is a Girl Scout, so tomorrow I will have 180 boxes of Girl Scout cookies at my house, and just wish me luck. This is my 10th episode, and I don't really have anything special planned because I am not a planner. I don't plan ahead. So I just thought it might be noted and celebrated that this is the 10th episode of X Stitch and Chill's FlossTube, so yay me. Also, a really quick reminder that I am on Twitch. I am streaming there on Wednesday afternoons and Sunday evenings, afternoons, depends on the day. You can always catch up with my schedule on my Discord server or following me on Instagram. Both are X Stitch and Chill, and I post a lot of stitching updates on my Instagram, so if you want to see more, go ahead and follow over there. I hope you like my little stitchy intro. I just felt like doing something a little creative this week. As you might know, I make videos professionally, weddings, corporate businesses, all sorts of stuff. So I thought it would be fun to do something a little funny and creative, an epic stitch opening. I don't have any finishes for you guys this week, and that's cool. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. But I do have lots of fun things that I'm working on, and obviously I bought more patterns because I can't help myself. So let's get into it. So first off, I have a new start, and you may know from some of my past videos that I love the needle and floss, and I have several of her patterns. So I got a bunch of her game controllers when she was having a 50% off sale for her patrons. And so I started on the Switch remotes. So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. And here is where I am. So I've gotten pretty far on it, actually. I'm almost done with one of the remotes, and then I'll do the other remote. And I decided to switch up the colors. Hers are blue and red, and I'm not a really big blue and red person, so I thought it would be fun to change it up. So I am doing this one obviously in this like peachy orange. The second one is going to be this like teal color. So hopefully it'll look really cute together. I also got this new needle minder. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, so I'll have to put it here. But yeah, it's a little cat inside sushi. I love it. It's adorable. He's falling over, but there he is. So that one's stitching up really fast. I've been stitching that one while my daughter is at cheerleading and tumbling and stuff, so it's kind of like my travel whip right now. Because it's a lot easier to take around with me than some of my other projects. Speaking of other projects, here are my whips. So these are things that you've seen before, but this is just my progress on them. The first one is my Schitt's Creek landmarks, which I noticed in the last FlossTube I showed like a progress picture of it, and it wasn't actually how far I had gotten. So I am going to put a picture of here of the town hall section, so the page 1 section that I finished, and what it looks like. And now I'm working on pages 2 and 3, and this is what it looked like last week when I was working on it. And now it looks like this. So I've been working a lot on Bob's Garage, which is this whole section right here. So this gray line goes all the way to the end of the page. So that is where it will finish. Loving working on this one. I'm a little slow on it right now because the gray is just like getting to me. It's so much gray. It's just a huge block of gray. I feel like I've kind of like been jumping around to like other parts and then going back to the gray and then going back to the gray, and I've run out of things to kind of do on the other parts right now. So I'm still kind of plugging away at that gray building. It will have some backstitching on it, so it won't just be like plain, the whole building is not just plain gray. There's like, it says Bob's Garage right there. And then there's like some more windows and stuff on this side. But this little section right here is all just pretty much a big gray block. And then there's some like little wheels over here. So I had to do some 3/4 stitches. And that was a fun adventure, but I think I got a handle on them now. I think you gotta make sure that you go up through the regular hole and then press down through the middle. I find that a lot more successful than trying to go up between and poking a hole in the cloth versus using the holes that are already there. So I found it easier to go down and in. So hopefully, they look nice when they're done. I mean, they're so tiny, you probably won't notice it in the grand scheme of things, because this one will be 11 by 16. I think 11 by 16 when it's done. So it's a big one. It's gonna take forever, but it's gonna be so cool when it's done. I should also mention that the designer for the Schitt's Creek landmarks is Stitchy Time Designs. So my next one is another needle and floss pattern, and it is her temperature stitch. This is actually her 2022 temperature stitch design. And I'm almost done with January. I think I have like 5 days left in January to stitch. So I've been trying to keep up, and I usually stitch on the weekend from the week before, so I just haven't gotten to it yet. But this is what it looks like so far. It is very wrinkly. But I am stitching this on 18 count. So this is kind of like about how big it will be. And so it starts down here. This was the 1st of January. And then it goes around, and it's going to go like in a spiral. So it'll go here, down, and then it will like spiral around until it gets to the center, which will be the end of the year. I don't know if I'll be showing this on every FlossTube, just because it's like not super exciting, but bottom of the box is the day's low and the top of the box is the day's high. So I have this one green 59-degree day. It's been really cold here, and yesterday it was like 35 degrees, and I was driving around with my windows down like it was summer. It just felt so nice. And today is going to be like 50 degrees. So I'll definitely have to go spend some time outside now that it's not frigid. All right. And my last whip is my favorite one. I don't know. I kind of go between, I like all of them. I shouldn't pick favorites, right? I shouldn't have favorites among the babies. But this is a design by Thread Geeks. Well, it's charted by Thread Geeks, but I realized I haven't been crediting the artist, so I should do that. But the artist is DJ Vigo, and it is the Deathly Hallows Starry Night pattern. And this is what it looked like last time, which I think I had just started it. And this is what it looks like now. So you may notice that it made an appearance in the opening video, but I've actually gotten quite a bit of progress on this one. This is page 1. So page 1 ends like about here, and these like spill into page 2. And then obviously that's the top corner of page 1. And then this is the end of page 1. So I've been making pretty good progress on it. It is a lot of confetti, and a lot of the blues are very similar. So I get lost pretty often. Even these like mint colors that are in here, there's actually like 2 different colors of this mint, and they look almost exactly the same. So I get lost a lot. And then I have like these, it's like, it's a vestibular problem. So like my ears and my eyes and my brain do not talk well together sometimes. And so like looking at my pattern and looking at the cross stitch and looking at my pattern and looking at the stitch is like, it causes me to feel like motion sickness. So sometimes it's a little hard to work on, but for the most part, I've been doing good. I've gotten kind of like a strategy down a little bit better, but I do really like working on this one. It's so beautiful and I can't wait to get some more done and stitch some more of it. We got a friend for the end of this. So that's everything that I am currently working on. And then I bought more patterns, obviously. I got an email from Thread Geeks, like their newsletter, and they were retiring a bunch of patterns. And I was like, oh, I wonder what they're retiring. And I scrolled down and I saw that they're retiring all of the Starry Night patterns. So they're all by DJ Vigo, I think. Most of them are. The ones that I have are. So the Deathly Hallows Starry Night that I'm doing is retiring, and so are all the other ones. So I obviously got on there and I was like, oh, well, I better buy some that I really like. So I did end up buying 2 Starry Night patterns from Thread Geeks. The first one is Zelda, and it actually calls for stitching all of the black on that one. And I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to suffer and stitch on black fabric, depending on some of the other colors. I don't know if I'm mentally and physically prepared to stitch that much black, but we'll see. And then the other one I got is another Harry Potter. It is the Hogwarts Starry Night. I just thought this one was really pretty. There's an extra large version, but this is just the regular version. And I'm excited to eventually stitch that one up. These are like ones that I'm like, I'm not really in a hurry to do them, but I wanted to have them before they were gone and I couldn't have them anymore, you know? So I ended up buying both of those patterns and I am looking forward to stitching them eventually. I also got 2 other ones that I had been eyeing on there that I wasn't really planning on purchasing either. And so the first one is Alice in Wonderland, and it looks like this, and it is so beautiful. There's actually a few Alice in Wonderlands. I got this one. It's a little more detailed than the one that looks very similar to it. And then the third one that there was kind of like in a frame, and it wasn't quite the style that I liked. So I ended up getting this one, and I think it will be very beautiful, and I'm very excited to stitch that one. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but they're both by the same designer, which is Dan Dangiro's Designs. I'm probably slaughtering that, so it's here. But so they designed both of these ones, so the Alice, and then I also got a Harry Potter one, and they had several Harry Potter ones. I kind of like this one right here because it kind of encompassed a lot of them. There was one that seemed like it was very Chamber of Secrets. There's one that's Voldemort. There's one that's just Harry, I think. And this one kind of has like the Deathly Hallows symbol in it, and it has Hogwarts and it has Hedwig, and so I felt like it was kind of all encompassing if I was only going to get one. I didn't want to get a bunch, but if you are interested in any Thread Geeks pattern, you might want to go check out and see if they are one of the retiring patterns. They are 50% off. I'm really excited to eventually stitch those up, but I'm not really in a hurry. No plans to start those anytime soon. And while we're talking about future plans, I know I said I'm not a planner, but sometimes I have plans, just not like detailed ones. So future plans, I'm going to keep working on Schitt's Creek landmarks. I'm also going to keep working on Deathly Hallows. I don't think those are going to go away anytime soon. I am hoping to finish the switch remotes from Needle and Floss soon because I have designed another pattern of my own that I reworked off of a drawing. So I'm hoping to start test stitching that and seeing what it looks like. The pattern, I'm not entirely positive is going to look good in real life. So I really want to kind of be able to stitch it and tweak it and make sure it looks really good before doing anything with it. I kind of have future plans to have a shop and have some patterns available, but I am just really slow and I don't want to open a shop with one pattern. So as I start getting them done and designing them, I might open a shop to sell those patterns if anyone is interested in them. But those are all of my future plans. Nothing like super exciting. I'm like really excited to work on the ones I'm working on. Like, I love working on Deathly Hallows. I love how it's turning out. I can't wait to start stitching some of the, like, there were like little circles. I can't wait to start stitching some of the like yellows in there. I've kind of been holding off, even though I really want to, but it's kind of nice to have like reference stitches for the other ones. Like, there's a really bright blue in there, and that really helps me figure out like where I am. Like, even if it's gridded, I'm starting to cover up a lot of the grid. So I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I don't even know where the grid is, and I can like drag from the top and the bottom, but it's still not super helpful. There's nice to have like marker stitches where I'm like, oh yeah, I know where that stitch is. I know what color that is, and makes it a lot easier to figure out where I am and what I'm doing. Schitt's Creek is not that complicated. It's very color blocky, so it's kind of a nice one to just zone out to. Like, you don't have to focus on it really that much. I guess we'll get into the chill things, but before we do, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more stitchy updates, please subscribe. If you really love this video and you enjoyed it and you think that I am crazy, just give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that too. All those things help the channel grow and get out to more people. So I was saying that with Deathly Hallows, I can't really look away from it because I tend to get lost that way. So what I've been doing is listening to an audiobook while I'm working on that one, so I don't have to like look away. I'm just listening and I don't have any expectation to look up at the screen. I got A Court of Thorns and Roses from the library as an audiobook, and it is due in 4 days. I am really slow with work right now. So today, after I'm finished filming this, my plan is to sit down and listen to it and hopefully get a couple hours in so that I can finish it before I return it. When I found it, there was like nobody in line waiting for it and it was available. I was like, oh, well, that never happens. So I borrowed it and kind of been listening to it, but 21 days goes by really fast when you are ignoring things like that. So, yeah, I still have about 8 hours left, so I'm about halfway through. I wasn't really into it at first, and that's maybe why it's taken me so long to get this far. It felt a little predictable and whiny, and I was not into that. But now it's starting to get a little more dramatic, and things are happening. And, so yeah, I've been enjoying that one. Looking forward to doing that today. When I'm not listening to the audiobook, I am still watching a lot of science documentaries on YouTube. Really enjoying Answers with Joe. I've also been listening to some podcasts with my husband, and there's been a lot about, you know, the world coming to an end, and I don't know why he thinks I'm weird for like watching murder documentaries all the time and like true crime and stuff. And I think he's crazy for like watching all these like the end of the world things. The poles are going to shift and we're all just screwed. So I'm not a fan of that type of content. But usually when he comes home from work and he hasn't really been able to do these kind of things all day, I let him pick what we watch on TV. So that's where we've been at the moment. We also watched the new movie You People on Netflix. It has Jonah Hill in it and Eddie Murphy's in it. And we had to watch it over 2 nights because we started it too late one night. And I have mixed feelings about it. I thought it was good. It was good. It was funny. The acting was good. The story was good. But I do feel like they kind of like glossed over things a little bit. Like, you know, I understand like glossing over the start of their relationship because that makes sense. I just feel like there was one big conflict and then that conflict got resolved very quickly. And I mean, I don't know. But it was really good. It was super funny. So if you are looking for something fun to watch on Netflix, You People was really great. A few future things I might watch. Our neighbors told us that Match Point on Netflix, which is a tennis documentary. It's by the same people who did the Formula One Drive to Survive. They made another documentary about tennis. My neighbor said it's really good, so we might end up watching that a little bit. I also need to finish up White Lotus. I started it and I binged like 3 or 4 episodes, and then I kind of just like stopped. So should pick that up again now that I feel like I don't really have much to watch on TV right now. I'm still in that weird funk of TV where there's not really anything going on. So I need to, I imagine, shows are going to start coming out again, after their little winter hiatus. So I might get to jump back into some of the shows that I've been excited about. Definitely lots of cool movies coming out. I'm sure I will not run out of things to watch. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to and watching while I'm stitching. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this stitchy update. If you made it all the way through this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm here at least every 2 weeks with my stitchy updates, and I would love to see you here again soon. Bye.